Yeah.
Ho, 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 motherfuckers.
Ho, 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 bitches.
Yeah.
And Merry Christmases. And let me steal your presents. It's we in the ghetto.
Keep
Are we
going.
gonna lose listeners?
Huh?
Saying
Probably. Nobody's listening to this anyway.
that's a
It
good
doesn't
point.
matter.
We don't have anybody listening to this.
Welcome to episode 2 of the Football Faction podcast.
Damn, this fucking track rocks. I'm just gonna
It
say
really does. Remember Die Hard.
And then he's like, don't you have any Christmas music? This is Christmas music.
We are heading into week 14 of the NFL season. And for most people, if not all people who are in fantasy football leagues, it's playoff time. Am I right?
I think you're right, sir. Playoff time. Hopefully you're in the playoffs. Week 1, week 14, the beginning of the end. Holy shit.
Hopefully your team didn't get snubbed out of the playoffs.
I'm sorry, Kabosh.
I know. It's
But
all
you
right.
You did hold the destiny in your hands.
I really did.
And what'd you do with that destiny?
I took a shit on it.
You pinched a loaf.
I did.
Right on your
It was a
destiny.
Major shit. We're going to be talking about one of the more exciting games of the weekend, or from the past weekend. We're going to talk about injuries, some projected stats, some top performers, and usually the usual shit that we talk about on this podcast. We're going to hit on listen, if we can go 1 week without fucking talk about Tim fucking Tebow,
That is not going to happen, sir.
it will happen because I won't be doing this fucking thing anymore. I'll tell you this right now. I do this for a hobby. It's not like I do this for a living.
Oh, man. We'll convert you eventually.
No, you won't.
Dude,
Never.
what were you and Jerry saying last week? I just want to just a quick run over. We're not going to do a Tebow segment, but let's just do a real quick assessment. Let's assess the situation. Last week it was, I'll just briefly say, Jerry said they will not win 2 more games. In addition to that, they will not beat the Minnesota Vikings. In addition to that, and I think he stole this from Merrill Hodge, Jerry,
Probably.
you thieving bastard. The Broncos will not win if they have to score more than 20 points. Well, let's see. All 3 of those things happened. Tebow, 10 for 15, 202 yards, 2 touchdowns. He only ran 4 times. Would you say that's a progression? Like I said,
How
bit.
many points did the defense score?
Score?
Yeah.
I don't think. Did the defense score at all? I don't think so because they scored 24 points. Tebow with 2 touchdowns. McGahee with 1 touchdown and a field goal. And so facto.
Von Miller's backup scored a pick 6.
Oh, he did.
Dumbass.
Yeah. What's that guy's name? I forgot his name. But yeah, no, you're right. Okay. So they scored a pick 6. So what did I say last week though? Team effort. It's a team effort. I'm not saying it's all
That's
on
21
Tebow,
points. That's barely over that mark.
but they did it. Tebow was 10 of 15, hitting different receivers. Didn't have to rely on his legs.
Demaryius Thomas. That was his guy. That was his flavor of the week.
Oh, it just shows you that he doesn't have to lock onto a single receiver.
He did lock onto a single receiver. Demaryius fucking Thomas. He had like 150 yards.
But he had him confused because they thought he was going to be throwing to McCaffrey, right? Or McCaffrey.
Eric Decker?
Yeah. Eric
Well,
Decker.
he is the second coming of Eddie McCaffrey.
He is. No, I just
Eddie
thought
McCaffrey was an awesome
he
receiver.
was such great. I remember watching him catch a pass across middle. Leg broke. McCaffrey is one of my favorite receivers. Leg broke in the air, and he came down with the ball. Didn't let go of the ball until they came over and took him off on a stretcher. But no, I think it was just we're not going to dwell on it, but I think it was just another example.
I think we've dwelled on
I know,
it.
right? It was just another example of Tebow making progress exactly like I said he would. I said last week he's not going to be your quote-unquote typical Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers quarterback.
Nor will he ever be.
Nor will he ever be. I completely agree with that. But I don't think he has to be. I don't think he has to be at all. I think he has to get better at passing the ball. As I said last week, he's getting a little bit better each week. Not a lot, but he's making progress. And what did I also say? I said, watch out. Denver Broncos can win that division and will make the playoffs. And right now they're at the top
when
of that
they
division.
face fucking secondaries that are. Did you see like the 2 big plays to Demaryius Thomas?
Yeah, he's wide open.
Where the hell was the fucking coverage on
I'll
that?
tell you this. Let me ask you this. On that one, the first touchdown, why was he wide open? Because Tebow was scrambling.
There was no help over the top.
Okay,
the
well,
fucking safety help over the top was never there.
Whichever the one was, not the deep one, whichever was the one where Tebow was scrambled out to the left.
That was a good play. I'm not going to deny that.
So I'm just saying
he kept it alive.
kept it alive, And then obviously they were thinking
He
was
found an
gonna
open
run,
receiver.
open receiver, and then the receiver did the rest of the work for like 25 yards. That was all on.
Well,
Thomas.
whatever work that was.
Right.
I mean, there was nobody.
I think, but see, here's the problem I have is each week there's the pundits,
You're the pundit.
That's-
You're a Tim Tebow
You're
pundit.
such a pundit.
You know what a pundit is?
Yes, it's a Dominique Kirsch.
It's a supporter.
It's a supporter of the negative Nancys. You can be a pundit against Tebow, or you can be a pundit for Tebow, couldn't you? I just blew your mind.
No, you didn't.
No, what I was saying is
Stop with the big words. Just use your words.
Each week, the Tebow haters and the Tebow lovers are going to have things to nitpick on. The Tebow haters are going to say it was a shitty secondary. Tebow lovers will say, what more do you want from him? He's progressing, blah, blah, blah. So, it's going to be in this argument that will not end until he wins 7 Super Bowls. And then I think at that time,
Oh, give me a fucking
maybe
break.
when he wins his 7th Super Bowl, the haters might be able to come around. I don't know.
Get to a Super Bowl first.
Oh, I was making a
Jesus
joke.
fucking
That was
Christ.
tongue in cheek.
Oh, gee. Yeah, there was some truth to that, you fucking asshole. All right. We're
Bo, hush. Sorry, my dog's whining.
yeah, because this is the kind of professionalism I expect out of Leonard Kelly. Is having his dog just like whining. And anybody who knows Bo, Leonard's dog, he's a fucking wino.
Yeah, he is.
Okay, since we got on this rant about
Yeah,
sucking
sorry
Tim
about that.
Tebow, we're not gonna. Sorry guys. We're gonna stop that. I didn't even introduce myself. I'm Dominic Kirsch.
Ah, yes.
Oh, hey, and that's Leonard Kelly over there,
I'm Zen Master Leonard Kelly.
Zen Master.
Glad to make your acquaintance this week.
And glad you didn't win the South this season.
Quick recap, BFD. I lost 3 games this year. Those 3 games were to the 3 shittiest teams in the league. No offense to Jazz, Snooki, and Stover. Well, actually, a lot of offense to Stovepipe.
What's that say about your team?
I don't know, man.
It does. It's fucking fantasy football.
Yeah, I scored 200 plus one week, and then I score 132 against Snooki. So my team's all over the fucking place. I don't know.
All right, let's talk Cowboys Cardinals.
Let's do that. Let's talk redheaded Jesus. Really, really letting the faithful down, dude.
I don't know if you saw this, but it was hilarious. If you're not a Cowboys fan, obviously.
Yeah.
But here's the scenario.
The scenario.
Scenario, if you will. Tony Romo, 30 seconds left in the game on 3rd and 11 on the Cardinal 46-yard line, completes a pass right down the middle to Des Bryant for 13 yards and a first down. Remember, this is the NFL, not college.
Yes.
When you pass, make a complete pass for a first down and you don't get tackled out of bounds, when the chains are moving, the clock's still running. I don't know if the Cowboys staff knew this, if they knew that rule, if Tony Romo knew that rule. But they had 2 timeouts
continue.
left, mind you.
2.
Now, let me pop a question.
Pop it.
Will you marry me? No.
Yeah.
Do you call timeout here and save some clock, try to advance the ball further to give Dan Bailey, the kicker, a more high percentage field goal try?
You 100%, he totally, absolutely call a timeout. There is absolutely zero. Like,
I think that's like you have like a card that says, this is the situation, this is what you do. Call
that's
timeout.
what you always do.
Right.
Right. And see, here's the reason why. If you have 1 timeout, then maybe you question it and you spike it. I get that. You have 2 timeouts. 2 timeouts. You get the completion to Des Bryant, immediately call a timeout. You can assess the situation. Now you have 20 plus seconds to do an out pattern, or how about this? Just a run. Just do an ISO up the middle or whatever.
Right.
No big deal. No harm, no foul.
It was already in the middle of the field, so it's not like they had
Exactly.
to, but
so you
they
can gain
still
a few more yards.
pounded up the middle.
His
play.
excuses for this were mind-boggling. He said that
Who's he?
redheaded Jesus, Garrett.
Oh,
Ginger. He said that they knew. Okay, sometimes for those of y'all that watch the games on TV and whatnot, it'll show the money zone for a field goal kicker. Like, this is the area you want to get into, and where he's comfortable kicking at.
Dan Bailey missed a 52 yarder earlier in the game.
Yeah. So yeah, you need to keep that in mind. But let's throw that out. Let's say, okay, his money zone is I think it was 51 yards. Like, that was kind of from 51 and of course below. So even if you're looking at just that, he's teetering on the edge of being out of that zone in which he's comfortable in kicking. So again, there's reason one. Why would you not call a timeout, try and get some more yards? Reason two, he said that, actually, I forgot his other reason. The main reason he said is because he was in his zone, in his area, so they felt comfortable kicking there. Now, the timeout. Oh, wait. Oh, you hadn't got to that part yet, have you?
Right.
Oh, please continue. So he effed up. Yes, you called the timeout.
Cowboys keep the clock moving, despite what you're supposed to do with 2 timeouts left. Mm-hmm. Romo spikes it to stop the clock instead of call the timeout. And now they have 8 seconds left, leaving a 49-yard field goal for Bailey. Jason Garrett ices his own kicker, obviously not intentionally,
right? By
calling the timeout just as the play clock was about to expire. Now, you know how the play went off, the kick went off, it was good, but the ref ran in there and was signaling timeout. That was called by Jason Garrett, and then they showed the camera on Jason Garrett. Just kind of nonchalantly saying timeout. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it was almost like he didn't want to call it timeout. He was kind of like, yes. It was really weird.
So that one counted. The one that actually was the one that they kicked after the timeout missed, forced it overtime. Now they showed that replay again, and it was Chris Boniol, who was formerly a Dallas kicker.
Mm-hmm.
He's the special teams coach. He was the one that went up to Jason Garrett and was yelling at him, or I don't know if he was yelling at him because you can't really hear it, but he was urging him to call a timeout because he thought his unit wasn't ready.
And I will give him this in that situation. Yeah, they were rushing because they didn't call They didn't call a timeout. They spiked the ball. You don't have that time to gather.
You have that 20 seconds. I know it's 25 seconds, but like after the spike, I mean, there's a couple seconds there where you're really not doing anything.
Yeah.
But you have 20 seconds to talk about it.
Yeah. It's like first of all, you're switching lineup.
A timeout would afford you the opportunity to talk about it, then move your unit.
Yeah. And that's you were still fine kicking from the 49. Or not kicking from the 49, but kicking a 49-yard field goal, and let's say you didn't want to run any more plays. You still call a timeout because now you can gather and be like, all right, guys, no pressure, kick some butt here, just do what you do. I mean, it all goes back to he should have called the timeout. And here's the problem, and I'm not going to take credit for this. This was the Dunn and Miller show, Dallas sports show on 103.3 The Ticket. Jason Garrett is fearful of Jerry Jones, and what I mean by that,
I heard that on ESPN too.
Yeah, what I mean by that is Jerry Jones is grubby, plasticized fingers are so involved in everything that I don't think Garrett has the freedom to. I think he's just so freaked out by everything. I don't want to do this because this and this and this and this, all because of the freaking owner.
The organization is so micromanaged,
exactly.
It's fucking out of control.
So I think that Garrett, that made Garrett look really bad. Because
don't we know about that?
That is
about micromanaging.
Yeah. Oh God, we do know about micromanaging, and those of y'all out there that we work with, y'all know about micromanaging as well. But yeah, it just Mike Ditka was on Mike and Mike in the Morning, and he was
Stop it.
He was just blown away. Like he's like, I don't know. I don't know what to do. You have to apologize to your players on that one. I think Garrett. It goes even further. He needs to either be the head coach or the offensive coordinator. And I'd say head coach because his play calling sucks. They again got away from the daggum run because the run wasn't working. Don't get me wrong. I think combined Felix and DeMarco were averaging like 3 yards a carry or something. It wasn't pretty. If that, but they weren't getting the carries. So then you just start slinging the ball all over the place, which is, no big deal, but it just seems like every week as a Cowboys fan, you're on pins and needles wondering how are we going to screw this up? And that, it's not all on Romo. It's not all on Garrett.
Question.
Mm-hmm.
Should have Romo took it into his hands and called the timeout himself.
See, that's the other thing that bothers me. He should have. Yes, he should have, but this is where I don't put the blame on him. He's on the field of battle, dude. He's in the game and all that. The coach